Hello everyone, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and today we'll be reading Chapter 6 of Don't Go to Sleep, a Jeff the Killer love story. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. What really matters? The sun began to rise. As soon enough, Jeff would be on his way to pick me up. To be honest, after a serious thinking last night and during a few rounds of poker with Ben, I was unsure I even wanted to see Jeff. There was no way a serial killer like him would be looking after a girl like myself just because he wants to. Those were probably lies that he fed me, and I actually believed him. After hearing the truth about my nightmares and what's causing them, it all started to make sense. Jeff was telling me that he wanted to protect me and stick by my side, just to gain my trust because he wanted to know that a mind freak was living inside my head, and he wanted revenge on the death of the Smile Dog. It made perfect sense. I went into the bathroom to get dressed and ready to go home, when suddenly I heard a knock on the door. "Hey, are you decent?" Jeff's voice called out. "Yeah, you can come in," I responded, a little stuttered in my tone of voice. Jeff opened the door, and he looked like he was pretty tired. "Are you ready to go?" he asked. "Yeah," I said as I grabbed my bag and headed out the room. I was walking down the hall and I noticed that Jeff was going to put his arm around me, but I moved to the side a little, rejecting Jeff's actions. I had my head down and I was completely silent, and Jeff was getting a little annoyed but also worried. "Hey, why don't you go get those papers signed? And I wanted to talk to Ben for a sec." Jeff spoke up and walked away. "Okay," I said in a low tone as Jeff took Ben outside of the hospital to chat. "What the hell did you told her? She's acting like this. Why is she acting like this?" Jeff started to sound pissed off. "Relax, Jeff. I didn't say anything bad about you, I swear," Ben said, defending himself. "Then why does she look upset and started to become more distant from me?" "I don't know. Did you do something to upset her?" "That's not what I know of," Jeff muttered. "Okay, then I can't help you. She's having one of those woman problems." "That can't be." "Are you sure you didn't tell her anything else?" Well, she woke up from her nightmare and I explained about her mind freaked her and how. Jeff then cut off Ben by grabbing him by the collar of his shirt. "You did what? You told her about Mind Freak?" Jeff yelled. Ben was silent for a moment and didn't seem to be frightened by Jeff's sudden rage. "Yeah, what's the problem with that?" Ben questioned. "First of all, I should have been the one to tell her since she's been asking me about it. That's the reason why I left last night, that way I wouldn't give her false information. Second, I wasn't hoping that Mind Freak was causing all the nightmares and her abilities, because we both know that creature is capable of doing so." "But what were we supposed to do, Jeff? We make sure she didn't fall asleep for the rest of her life. It would take up a lot of magic to pull it off, and that, sadly, I don't have." Jeff started to feel frustrated and a little helpless since he really couldn't do much at this point. Jeff sighed. "Tell me, did she tell you anything about her nightmare?" "If she did, please tell me," Jeff asked. Ben nodded and began to inform Jeff about your recurring nightmare. Jeff looked displeased and a little shocked. He kept wondering, why would Mind Freak use him as a decoy to catch you off guard? Jeff began to suspect something was up with you, and it had to involve him. Jeff and Ben noticed the sliding doors open with me slowly walking out still not having an emotionless expression on my face. Hey Ben, ready to go? Jeff asked. I nodded and began to walk ahead. Jeff and Ben started to follow me and kept their distance since it seemed obvious I needed a bit of time to myself. I was hoping that Jeff would walk beside me like he always did, but it seemed that it had an effect on my emotions. Why was I feeling like this? Why Jeff? Of all people in the world, it had to be Jeff that got to me the most. Once we arrived at my house, I placed my bag on the floor on the couch and headed towards the kitchen without saying a single word. Jeff clenched his hands into a fist and started to shake a little. Looks upset, the silent way home, and still not a single word once we got home. That's it. I'm going to confront her, Jeff said, making his way to the kitchen. But Ben grabbed him by the elbow. Leave her alone, Jeff. She is. Ben spoke, but when he was interrupted, she's what? I get it. She's upset. But I want to know why. Now fuck off and let me go. Ben didn't say a single word and let Jeff go as he stormed off into the kitchen. As I was looking through the fridge for something to drink, I closed the door and Jeff's sudden appearance made me jump. What is going on? Jeff said slightly, making me jump. Oh, Jeff, you scared me. Nothing's wrong. I'm just tired is all, I said in a low tone. Bullshit. I know when a woman is hiding something from me. So tell me. I would like to know. Why? I asked. Because I can't stand it. It's annoying, Jeff muttered. Then leave, I simply put it. What? No, I'm not leaving, Jeff said. Why? Because some freakish feeling inside you is saying no? I don't care. If you think I'm annoying or something is annoying you, then if you don't like it, then leave. I sounded very angry, and then Jeff started walking closer to me. In doing so, I started to back up into the wall and stared into his white eyes as he slammed both hands on the wall near my shoulders, which seemed to frighten me just a little bit. I am not leaving, Jeff simply put it. He didn't sound angry or anything, he just simply said it, which made me confused. Why? I muttered. Because I have a job here that is protecting you, and I meant that. You seemed a little shocked by Jeff's words because they sounded so true. Are you sure? Because I know the truth. I know about Mind Freak and her history with you. I'm some girl she's hiding in. That's because the only reason why you're here is just to get rid of her. I said, surely confused. Sweetheart, I never knew Mind Freak was living inside your head until last night when I did some research. But then you recall the night when we first met. How I knew about your mind abilities. But then how did you know about my powers? When I ran back into the dark, Ben was waiting there for me, and he warned me about you. I thought it made sense since Jeff didn't have any magic at all. So, you didn't know that Mind Freak was living in my head until last night. As a matter of fact, yes, as a matter of fact, I gave up on that bitch searching years ago. But now, I'm more determined to kill her now. Why? Because she's hurting you. Jeff screamed, and then he suddenly wrapped his arms around me, which surprised me even more. But my heart was beginning to race. Jeff, I muttered, I completely don't understand these feelings, but I know for a fact that seeing you hurting in any kind of way, it annoys me and it hurts me too. You really matter to me, Jeff said. I felt a drop on my shoulders, and then I suddenly hugged him back. Jeff, are you crying? Jeff was silent for a moment and then sighed that he admitted it. Yes, I'm sorry. I thought you thought that I was just using you to get to someone else. But the truth is, I didn't want to kill you because when I saw you crying, I wanted to cry too. I felt this pain in my chest that wouldn't go away until I saw you again. Jeff's tears began to drop rapidly as I could feel them on my shoulder. I began to cry as well, which made Jeff hug me tighter. Jeff, I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. Well, a simply sorry is not going to make it up for me, Jeff said. Then wait, what will? This. Jeff suddenly pulled slightly away and placed a gentle kiss on my lips. I was shocked by the sudden action, and then I sunk into the kiss. His lips felt soft and a little cold, but they felt like heaven to me. Once we broke apart, freeing ourselves from the kiss, we stared at each other. Now you are forgiven. He slightly smiled as I did the same. I could tell from the moment Jeff was really the only person in the world that would ever make me feel this way. Safe, warm, a little crazy, but most of all, happy.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I'm glad. If you want more Ben Drown love stories, check out the playlist that will be popping up soon. Also, if you want any more fanfictions narrations, please check out my other channel, Reading with Blade, which has multiple fanfictions up already. If you are interested in the yaoi experience, check out Tyler O'Connell's channel if you want to go there. But note that channel is only 18 and up. I've been listening to Tyler's stories and I'm addicted to them. Until then, bye guys!